They say the secret to success has been hidden in plain sight, waiting only for the person willing to act on it. What if, in the next 30 days, you could transform not just what you have, but who you are, simply by applying one timeless principle? This is the strangest secret brought to life once again, because its truth is timeless and its power everlasting. Over half a century ago, I shared a simple but astonishing discovery: we become what we think about. Those 6 words, quietly understood and faithfully applied, hold the key to every form of success known to mankind. Yet the key is useless without action. Thought must take form and desire must move into motion. So today, I invite you to begin your own 30-day test. 30 days of deliberate thought, determined action, and disciplined growth. Take a single sheet of paper and write your most important goal clearly upon it. Make it specific, make it personal. Whether it's financial independence, mastery of a skill, better health, or peace of mind, write it as though it were already true. Carry it with you. Read it often. Let it live in your mind as vividly as if it were already accomplished. Each morning, start your day by saying to yourself, "Today I act in harmony with my goal." Then spend every hour doing the things that move you toward it. You will be amazed at how the world begins to change around you once your mind is focused and your actions are aligned. For 30 days, refuse to dwell on fear or failure. When a negative thought appears, and it will, replace it immediately with faith and gratitude. Say to yourself, "I am moving toward my goal, and my goal is moving toward me." This alone can change the very chemistry of your days. Study something that builds your understanding. Read, listen, and learn from those who have walked this path before you. Remember, success is not an act of luck. It's the natural outcome of thought and effort directed toward a worthy ideal. And as you walk through these 30 days, keep this truth close to your heart. The only person you are destined to become is the person you decide to be. Decide now to become the kind of person who thinks clearly, acts boldly, and lives purposefully. The kind of person who turns ideas into reality and dreams into deeds. 30 days may not seem long, but it's enough to begin the great transformation, because in 30 days of faithful practice, you will have formed the habit of success. At the end of this test, look back at the person you were and compare it to the person you've become. You'll see that your circumstances will have started to change, yes, but more importantly, you will have changed. And that is the true secret. You become what you think about. Guard your thoughts as your greatest treasure. Every moment your mind is shaping the world you live in. The thoughts you dwell on are not idle flickers of imagination, they are blueprints for your reality. What you think about long enough, deeply enough, and consistently enough begins to manifest in the circumstances, people, and opportunities that surround you. Most people drift through life unaware that their thinking is the silent architect behind every victory and every defeat. The mind is fertile soil. Whatever you plant will grow. Plant seeds of fear, and you will harvest hesitation. Plant seeds of faith, and you will reap courage. Every great achievement began as a single thought, nurtured, protected, and believed in until it became tangible. Thoughts are living forces, and the ones you entertain most often become your character, your habits, and your destiny. This is why guarding your thoughts is not an act of luxury, it is an act of survival. Just as you would not allow a thief into your home, do not allow destructive thoughts into your mind. They steal your energy, your focus, and your potential. The moment you realize that you are not obligated to think every thought that enters your head, you begin to reclaim your power. Guarding your thoughts means becoming conscious of the mental conversations you carry throughout the day. The words you whisper to yourself when no one is listening hold immense weight. Tell yourself you are capable, and your mind begins to find ways to prove it. Tell yourself you are limited, and your mind will obediently gather evidence to confirm it. The mind does not judge. It simply creates according to the pattern you feed it. You are the sculptor, and your thoughts are the chisel. With every thought, you shape the contours of your life. Most people underestimate how much influence a single persistent idea can have. A thought of confidence repeated daily becomes a belief. A belief acted upon becomes behavior. Behavior repeated becomes a habit, and habits ultimately create results. If you guard your thoughts, you protect the root from which every visible outcome grows. The discipline of right thinking demands awareness, repetition, and choice. When you choose to dwell on what you want instead of what you fear, you begin aligning yourself with the energy of progress. The world responds to the tone of your inner dialogue. A guarded mind radiates clarity, direction, and strength. People feel it. Opportunities recognize it. Circumstances rearrange themselves to match it. What you hold in your mind long enough begins to take shape in your life, whether it is success or failure, joy or struggle. The truth has always been simple. Your thoughts build the path beneath your feet. So treat them as your most valuable possession, for in mastering them, you master the world that unfolds around you. Set one clear, definite goal for the next 30 days. Clarity is the compass that directs human effort, and without it, energy is wasted in 1,000 directions. A single, well-defined goal creates focus, and focus channels power. The mind, like light, becomes stronger when concentrated. For the next 30 days, choose one thing, just one, that you will pursue with unwavering determination. It may be improving a skill, building a habit, earning a result, or mastering a part of yourself. The goal does not have to be grand, but it must be clear, measurable, and deeply meaningful to you. Ambiguity is the enemy of progress. A goal must be sharp enough to cut through distraction and specific enough to give the mind something to aim at each day. When you set a clear goal, you give your subconscious mind an instruction, and it begins working to fulfill it, quietly, persistently, often beneath your awareness. Every great achievement began with a definite decision. The act of setting a goal is more than writing words on paper. It is a declaration of intent to the universe and to yourself. It marks the moment when you decide to stop drifting and start directing. 30 days of focused effort toward one objective can create more progress than a year of scattered attempts. The clarity of a single purpose magnifies your discipline and simplifies your choices. Each morning, remind yourself of what you are aiming for. Visualize it as though it were already complete. Feel the certainty of it. Let it occupy your imagination with such intensity that doubt finds no room to dwell. Then act. No matter how small the action, no matter how imperfect. Consistent motion, even at a slow pace, builds momentum, and momentum soon becomes unstoppable. Your mind and body align with what you repeatedly picture and pursue. The next step appears only when you begin to move. The discipline of a 30-day goal is a test of sincerity. It separates fleeting wishes from real commitment. It forces you to prioritize what matters most and teaches you to say no to everything that does not serve your direction. When you limit your attention to one outcome, you strip away the noise that clutters the modern world. Distractions lose their grip because you have decided where your energy belongs. Every day becomes purposeful, every choice a reflection of your intent. There is quiet power in simplicity. A single goal pursued with faith and consistency can awaken potential you never knew you possessed. In 30 days, you can reshape habits, rewire your thinking, and prove to yourself that progress is a matter of focus, not luck. The moment you choose a definite goal, life begins to respond differently. People, ideas, and resources start to align as though drawn by an invisible thread. The mind loves direction, and when you give it one clear command, it becomes the most faithful servant you will ever have. Write your goal on paper and carry it with you everywhere. There is a strange magic in taking a thought from the invisible world of the mind and giving it physical form through ink and paper. The moment you write something down, it becomes real, tangible, and anchored in your awareness. Most people keep their goals locked inside their heads, floating among thousands of scattered thoughts, easily forgotten or replaced by daily distractions. But when you take the time to write your goal, you are making a declaration, not just to yourself, but to life itself, that you have chosen a direction and intend to follow it. That single act turns a wish into a commitment, an idea into intention. Carrying your written goal with you is not a ritual of superstition, it is a constant reminder of who you are becoming. In a world that demands your attention from every angle, your goal card becomes your compass. Each time you see it, touch it, or read it, you realign yourself with your purpose. The mind is easily led astray by circumstance, emotion, and noise, but a written goal brings you back to center. It whispers quietly, even in chaos, reminding you of what truly matters. You might pull it from your pocket during a long day, glance at it for a moment, and suddenly find your strength returning. Writing your goal by hand engages more than memory. It engages emotion. The act of forming words with intention imprints them deeper into your consciousness. It signals to your subconscious mind that this is not a passing thought but a command to act upon. When you carry it with you, the repetition of seeing those words strengthens their power. Repetition builds belief, and belief fuels action. Over time, the simple practice of reviewing your goal creates a mental imprint so strong that your behavior naturally begins to align with it. You will notice how this written goal changes your perception. Opportunities you once ignored begin to stand out. Conversations take on new meaning. You start recognizing patterns, coincidences, and pathways that seem to appear at just the right time. This is not luck. It is the natural response of a mind that knows what it is looking for. By keeping your goal near, you are programming your awareness to seek out the means to achieve it. Many people underestimate the discipline of daily remembrance. When you forget your goal, you drift. When you carry it, you steer. Each morning, read your goal aloud. Let the words fill your voice and your thoughts. Feel their truth growing stronger. Each night, read it again before you rest, allowing it to settle into the deeper parts of your mind. Over the course of 30 days, this practice becomes a quiet partnership between your intention and your subconscious. It keeps you awake to your possibilities, alert to your choices, and faithful to your direction. The paper may be small, but it holds within it the power to reshape your destiny. Read your goal every morning and every night with conviction. The mind is most open at the edges of the day, those quiet hours when the world is still, and your thoughts have not yet been cluttered by the demands of life. In those moments, the words you feed your mind sink deeper than you imagine. Reading your goal aloud each morning is an act of setting direction before the day begins. It's not mere repetition, it's a mental alignment, a reminder to the mind of what it serves. Each word spoken with belief awakens intention, and intention is what gives motion to everything you do. Conviction transforms simple words into power. Without conviction, your goal is a statement. With conviction, it becomes a command to your subconscious. The energy behind your voice carries weight. It tells the deeper part of your mind that you mean what you say, that your dream is not a fantasy but an outcome in progress. When you begin the day with your goal in focus, your thoughts, emotions, and actions begin to organize themselves toward it. You become alert to opportunities, conscious of your time, and deliberate in your decisions. The goal stops being an external target and starts becoming part of your identity. At night, reading your goal again has a different purpose. The world quiets down, and the conscious mind begins to rest. The thoughts you entertain before sleep drift into the subconscious, shaping the ideas and associations that will emerge the next day. By revisiting your goal with conviction before bed, you give your mind a final instruction. You are training your subconscious to work while you sleep, to solve problems, to uncover paths, and to strengthen belief. The mind is a loyal servant. It will build whatever image you feed it with persistence and feeling. Repetition is the language of belief. Every time you read your goal, you are deepening the neural pathways that support its realization. The image becomes clearer, more vivid, and more certain. Doubt begins to fade because your mind grows accustomed to the idea of success. Conviction replaces hesitation. Faith replaces uncertainty. What once seemed distant begins to feel natural. Over time, this simple practice begins to shape your behavior. You start to act in harmony with the vision you hold. The mind and body move as one when belief becomes habitual. This daily ritual requires sincerity. It is not a performance, it is a conversation with your future self. Speak your goal as though it were already true. See it vividly, hear it clearly, feel it as a living reality. The words you repeat are instructions to your mind, and the feeling you attach to them is the power that makes them real. Morning and night, let your conviction grow stronger. Let your voice remind you of your purpose, until the world around you begins to reflect the world within you. Act as though it were impossible to fail. This is not a call for blind optimism, but for a deeper kind of faith, the faith that ignites courage and silences hesitation. Most people live trapped between desire and doubt, wanting progress yet fearing missteps. But the moment you act with the certainty of success, you tap into a hidden power within yourself. The mind, when convinced of victory, commands the body to move differently, speak differently, and think differently. Confidence alters energy, and energy shapes outcomes. When you move with assurance, doors open that hesitation would have kept closed. To act as though failure were impossible is to live from the end, to carry the image of achievement so vividly that it begins to shape your reality. You are no longer asking, "Can I do this?" You are declaring, "This will be done." That shift in belief transforms every effort into purposeful motion. Doubt drains energy, but conviction multiplies it. A person who believes in the inevitability of success becomes magnetic, attracting ideas, people, and opportunities that align with that certainty. The universe seems to conspire in favor of those who move with unwavering confidence. When you act as if success is inevitable, fear loses its control. You stop negotiating with hesitation. You make decisions quickly, not recklessly, because you trust your direction. Failure may still appear in temporary form, but it no longer defines you. Instead, it becomes a tool, a necessary correction along the way. Every great inventor, leader, and visionary moved forward not because they were immune to mistakes, but because they never gave failure the authority to stop them. Their belief in their goal was stronger than any setback they encountered. This mindset demands that you step beyond your comfort zone, because certainty cannot coexist with passivity. Acting as though you cannot fail means daring to take the first step before conditions are perfect. It means trusting that clarity will come through action, not before it. Each movement forward confirms your faith and weakens the chains of doubt. Momentum is built by consistent belief expressed through decisive effort. The world bends toward those who refuse to entertain the idea of defeat. It is not arrogance to think this way. It is alignment with the creative laws of the mind. Thoughts infused with confidence create action infused with power. When you behave as if success were already written, your words carry conviction. Your posture communicates purpose, and your presence commands attention. People respond differently to those who radiate certainty. The environment mirrors your inner state, and when your inner state is unshakable, outcomes begin to match it. To act as though it were impossible to fail is to live with clarity, strength, and calm determination. It is the mental stance of someone who understands that success is not given. It is claimed through faith expressed in motion. Each step forward, taken in certainty, becomes proof that the impossible is only a matter of belief waiting to be acted upon. Replace all negative thoughts with faith, gratitude, and persistence. The mind cannot hold two opposing ideas with equal strength. One will always dominate. Every time a discouraging thought arises, it drains strength and clouds judgment. Yet, by deliberately introducing belief, thankfulness, and steady effort in its place, you reclaim control over your inner world. Faith clears away uncertainty. Gratitude fills the heart with calm assurance. Persistence gives motion to purpose. Together, they form a shield against fear and a bridge toward progress. Faith begins where evidence ends. It is the quiet conviction that, regardless of how conditions appear, things are moving in your favor. When you choose faith, you choose vision over circumstance. The mind starts to see possibilities instead of limitations. It creates direction rather than confusion. Faith is not blind. It is confident expectation built through trust in your potential and in the unseen order that governs life. Every time a thought of defeat surfaces, replace it with one of belief. I can handle this. I am growing through this. Something good is coming from this. Those words reshape your emotional chemistry and restore balance. Gratitude transforms perception. It shifts attention from what is missing to what is already abundant. When you focus on appreciation, your awareness expands, and opportunities that once seemed hidden begin to reveal themselves. Gratitude is not passive acceptance. It is recognition of value in the present moment. It allows you to see how much you already possess, both within and around you. The mind cannot feel thankful and fearful at the same time. By consciously choosing appreciation, you dissolve anxiety. Each time a negative thought tries to dominate, pause and name 3 things, however small, that bring meaning or comfort. This simple act renews energy and reawakens optimism. Persistence is the muscle that turns belief and gratitude into visible results. It is the refusal to retreat when effort feels heavy or progress appears slow. Persistent individuals understand that temporary frustration is not failure but preparation. Every setback becomes a lesson, every delay a test of endurance. When you train yourself to keep moving regardless of emotion, you develop an inner rhythm that no challenge can break. Persistence replaces worry with action and turns uncertainty into growth. To replace negativity effectively, you must act quickly. Do not wrestle with unwanted thoughts. Redirect them. Fill the vacant space they leave with conviction, appreciation, and determination. The mind, once trained in this discipline, becomes a sanctuary of strength. You start to meet life from a position of power, not reaction. This practice rewires patterns, shifting you from doubt to purpose, from complaint to awareness, from resistance to flow. Faith builds the vision, gratitude sustains the heart, and persistence carries you across every obstacle. When these 3 qualities take root, negativity loses its hold and your inner landscape becomes fertile ground for growth, progress, and quiet confidence. Spend at least 1 hour a day studying something that advances your purpose. Knowledge refines direction and transforms effort into mastery. Each day that passes without deliberate learning is a day of standing still while the world continues to move. Devoting focused time to understanding what strengthens your calling creates momentum that compounds quietly yet powerfully. When you dedicate an hour to study with intention, you are sharpening the tools of thought, training perception, and deepening insight into the path you have chosen. The difference between mediocrity and excellence often lies in the habit of daily learning. A single hour may seem small, but repeated with consistency, it becomes the foundation of expertise. The mind grows through challenge and engagement. Reading, observing, or listening with focus expands awareness and uncovers methods that turn ordinary work into extraordinary performance. Each new concept absorbed changes how you think, how you decide, and how you act. That hour each day becomes the seedbed for innovation and improvement. Learning with purpose is not the same as consuming information. It requires selection and intention. Choose material aligned with your vision. If your goal is to lead, study leadership. If you wish to create, study creativity. Knowledge pursued with aim becomes nourishment for ambition. It teaches you to connect principles rather than memorize details. The active focused study trains discipline, clarity, and curiosity, qualities that multiply results in every area of life. During that sacred hour, eliminate noise. Step away from distraction. Give your attention entirely to the subject before you. Let understanding replace assumption. As you learn, take notes, reflect, and apply what you absorb. Insight without application fades quickly, but wisdom practiced becomes transformation. Learning is not just collecting ideas, it is aligning your mind with higher patterns of thought that move you closer to your chosen destination. There is power in consistency. 1 hour each day for 30 days equals an entirely new perspective. Continue this for a year, and you will possess knowledge that few around you even consider. This is how quiet progress overtakes noise. You will begin to see connections others miss, anticipate challenges, and act with precision. That single disciplined hour will change how you interpret events, solve problems, and approach opportunities. It will refine judgment and reveal shortcuts that save years of confusion. Studying something related to your aim reminds you daily of what truly matters. It keeps your purpose alive and evolving. Every book read, every lecture heard, every lesson noted becomes another step toward refinement. Growth happens gradually but unmistakably to the one who studies with devotion. Over time, that hour becomes your sanctuary, a space where distraction cannot reach you, where your future is built page by page, idea by idea, thought by thought, until the knowledge you gather reshapes not just what you do, but who you become. Associate only with voices and influences that lift you higher. The environment surrounding your mind determines the quality of your thoughts. Every conversation, book, sound, and image carries energy that either strengthens or weakens your direction. To rise, you must become intentional about the company you keep, not just in person, but through what you consume, what you listen to, and what you allow into your awareness. The mind absorbs everything it touches, and over time it begins to mirror the tone of what it hears most often. Surround yourself with influence that reminds you of possibility, encourages growth, and challenges complacency. People who lift you higher do not flatter, they awaken. They see your potential when you forget it, and they speak truth when you drift. Their presence stirs ambition and sharpens vision. These are not always loud voices, but consistent ones, carrying integrity and substance. When you share space with individuals who live with purpose, you naturally begin to elevate your own standards. Their mindset becomes a silent teacher, shaping your thoughts without instruction. Growth thrives in environments where excellence is normal. Guarding your associations does not mean isolation, it means alignment. Choose relationships that nourish rather than drain. Energy is contagious, optimism, discipline, and vision spread just as easily as fear, laziness, and complaint. When you listen to negativity long enough, it starts to sound like truth. When you engage with confidence and purpose, it begins to feel natural. Every interaction leaves a trace within you. Protect that inner atmosphere with vigilance, for it determines the level of success you can sustain. Voices that lift you higher can also come from mentors you've never met. The pages of a book, the message in a recording, the lessons of history, all can become companions on the journey. Seek wisdom that expands perspective. Study the lives of those who achieved excellence through character and perseverance. Their examples will guide you silently, giving direction when uncertainty arises. Allow the influence of greatness to shape your thinking until mediocrity feels uncomfortable. When you choose better influences, your own communication changes. You begin to speak with more clarity, act with greater confidence, and expect more from yourself. The mind adapts quickly to the standard of its surroundings. When lifted voices fill your daily life, doubt loses power and vision grows sharper. It becomes easier to stay calm under pressure because you have trained yourself to dwell in higher frequencies of thought. Each day, evaluate what and who occupies your attention. Does it inspire progress or encourage stagnation? Replace gossip with ideas, criticism with learning, distraction with purpose. The quality of your associations predicts the altitude of your achievement. To grow beyond the average, you must rise above the noise. Fill your world with influence that reminds you of who you are capable of becoming, and your own character will begin to echo the excellence that surrounds you. Measure progress each evening and celebrate small victories. Reflection is the bridge between effort and improvement. When the day comes to a close, the quiet hour before rest offers a rare opportunity to observe yourself without judgment and to recognize growth that might otherwise pass unnoticed. Most people rush from one task to another, unaware of how far they've come, focusing only on what remains undone. Yet success is built through awareness, through understanding the connection between intention, action, and result. Taking time each night to review your progress transforms random activity into deliberate advancement. As you measure your day, ask what moved you closer to your objective and what slowed your pace. This habit of honest evaluation sharpens clarity and strengthens discipline. By identifying the moments where you acted with purpose, you reinforce those patterns in your subconscious. Likewise, by acknowledging where you drifted, you invite correction rather than guilt. The process is not about perfection, it's about refinement. Progress tracked consistently becomes motivation multiplied because evidence of movement, even in small amounts, fuels commitment for the next day. Celebrating small victories creates momentum. Every accomplishment, no matter how minor, deserves recognition. When you pause to honor each forward step, you teach your mind that effort matters. That sense of reward releases energy, enthusiasm, and confidence. It reminds you that growth is not a single leap but a series of steady climbs. Many people abandon their goals not because they failed, but because they overlook the quiet wins that prove they are advancing. By acknowledging each one, you turn progress into a source of joy rather than pressure. Each evening, write a few lines about what went well. Note the task completed, the temptation resisted, the lesson learned, the fear faced. These moments are markers of transformation. The more you notice them, the stronger your belief in your ability to evolve becomes. Gratitude for progress turns discipline into pleasure. The act of celebrating encourages the mind to repeat the behaviors that created success in the first place. This nightly ritual also cultivates perspective. When you see how the small efforts of many days begin to connect, patience grows naturally. You stop demanding instant results because you can see the trajectory forming. Momentum builds slowly but continuously for those who keep count of their growth. Measuring progress prevents discouragement, and celebration keeps the spirit alive through challenges. Reflection at day's end is not the closing of a cycle. It is preparation for the next. It strengthens awareness, fuels purpose, and renews determination. Each evening becomes a moment of alignment, where you gather lessons from the day and carry them forward with intention. In this quiet practice lies the secret of continuous development: to observe, adjust, and appreciate. The small victories of today become the foundation of tomorrow's triumphs, and through consistent recognition of progress, you keep the flame of purpose burning bright. Refuse to quit. Discipline for 30 days will awaken the power to change your life. Endurance is the test that separates intention from transformation. The difference between those who dream and those who achieve lies in the ability to continue when comfort disappears. The first few days of any pursuit feel inspired, fueled by excitement and vision. Then resistance appears, doubt, distraction, fatigue, and impatience begin to whisper reasons to stop. But those who press forward through that phase discover something extraordinary. Consistency reshapes identity. 30 days of unwavering focus can alter the way you think, feel, and act more profoundly than any burst of enthusiasm ever could. Discipline is not punishment, it is structure. It gives form to purpose. By committing to a single goal and refusing to waver for a month, you train both mind and body to obey intention instead of impulse. Each time you choose persistence over ease, you strengthen an invisible muscle that governs every achievement in life. The practice of doing what must be done regardless of mood creates momentum that no external force can provide. What begins as an act of effort becomes a natural rhythm, and from that rhythm emerges power. 30 days may sound brief, but in those days you are teaching yourself mastery over self. Each morning becomes a declaration that you are in command of your direction. Every task completed on schedule reinforces that belief. The mind begins to associate discipline with freedom rather than restriction. You start to realize that self-control does not limit you. It liberates you from the pull of inconsistency. The quiet pride that comes from keeping your word to yourself becomes fuel stronger than motivation. Refusing to quit means understanding that progress rarely feels comfortable. Growth is disguised as challenge. When you remain steady in difficulty, you train your nervous system to function calmly under pressure. You stop reacting to circumstances and start creating outcomes. Discipline transforms confusion into clarity, because when your course is fixed, your energy stops scattering. The act of staying true to a plan teaches patience, sharpens decision-making, and reveals strength that only commitment can uncover. During this month of focus, small choices matter most. The decision to stay up a little later to complete a task, to wake earlier than habit, to push once more when the mind says stop. All of these moments accumulate into character. They prove to you through action that you are stronger than comfort. That realization changes how you approach every challenge thereafter. By maintaining discipline for 30 consecutive days, you break through the layer of resistance that holds most people in place. You begin to witness how consistent behavior rewires belief, and how daily effort creates lasting transformation. It is not about perfection but persistence, showing up again and again, until consistency becomes instinct. Through this steadfast devotion, you uncover the quiet force within that turns possibility into progress, and progress into undeniable change. In these 30 days lies a lifetime of transformation. Every principle, every action, every discipline builds upon the last, creating a chain of progress that reshapes both thought and destiny. You become what you think about, so guard the mind. Set a single, definite goal and hold it with clarity. Write it down, carry it with you, read it with conviction morning and night until it becomes part of your very being. Act as though failure cannot touch you. Replace all negativity with belief, appreciation, and perseverance. Devote daily time to learning that strengthens your purpose, and surround yourself only with voices that draw you upward. Measure growth each evening, honor even the smallest advancement, and when difficulty arises, as it will, refuse to quit. For discipline practiced with faith awakens hidden strength and reveals the vast potential already waiting within you. 30 days of focus, gratitude, and steady effort will not merely change your results, they will begin to change you, molding your character into one that commands success through calm certainty and unwavering purpose.